All right, so moving on to the second topic for you guys. In this second segment, I will be sharing my thoughts and my opinions on which NFL rookie will shine the most in their rookie season. There was a lot of talented players in the 2022 NFL draft class, mainly at a skilled position. You had a lot of skilled cornerbacks go, mainly highlighted by Sauce Gardner. You had wide receiver, a talented wide receiver group in the 2022 NFL draft class, highlighted by the number one guy who was drafted at the wide receiver position first, and Drake London. I could talk to you about how good these offensive linemen are going to be, how good these defensive linemen are going to be. But I'm not. And I'm going to the position that did not get a lot of love in the NFL 2022 draft. And that's at the quarterback position. So the quarterback, I think, the player I think that's going to shine the most in their rookie season this year is playing at the quarterback position, and his name is Kenny Pickett. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, I know you did not just say Kenny Pickett. Well, I just did. And I'm going to explain to you why he's going to shine the most out of all the rookies in his draft class this year. Saturday, in his game against the Seattle Seahawks, I seen with my own eyes what Kenny Pickett can bring to the table. He showed a lot of his abilities that he did in college, scrambling, making pocket awareness in the pocket, and he did play against third and fourth string guys. But this is what rookies do. They get their reps against guys. This is NFL competition at the end of the day. Whether these third, fourth string guys are trying to make a roster spot, or whether they're just trying to play and get more playing time, or there's still NFL competition. And Kenny Pickett did what he was supposed to do in his time and in his reps in his preseason debut. I seen a glimpse of what he could do. He went 13 for 15, had a total of 111 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and a game-winning drive in his preseason debut against the Seattle Seahawks on Saturday. I think that's your coming out party if you're a rookie in the NFL. He was picture perfect throwing the ball, 13 for 15, had a total of 111 total yards for his playing time. He watched Trubisky and watched Rudolph get in before him, so he did what he could do. And his reps, he did a good job passing the ball and running the ball. So, I seen the abilities of what he did at Pittsburgh, and I seen why he was a Heisman Trophy runner-up. He brought his ability, he's showing his abilities, what he's capable of doing so far in his NFL time. Short NFL time, I should say. He's in a good situation to win the quarterback one job, competing against his teammates Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. Now, before I go any further in this quarterback one competition, I don't think Mason Rudolph should even be in this conversation, to be quite honest with you guys. Mason Rudolph has had countless times to prove that he could be a quarterback one with the Pittsburgh Steelers or elsewhere in the National Football League. If you guys go back and think about what happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2019 season, Week 2, Ben Roethlisberger sustained an injury early in the season and was unable to continue for the rest of the 2019 season. The Pittsburgh Steelers were just fine that year, finished the year at 8-8. Yes, they went back and forth at the quarterback position, but Mason Rudolph was in there for a good amount of time. And that year, they even elevated their defense by trading a first-round pick to acquire Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Miami Dolphins in 2019. We've seen what Mason Rudolph can do on the field, and it's not pretty. He's not a leader on the field. He's not dynamic at the quarterback position. He's not even dynamic, in my opinion, to hold a backup spot in the National Football League. And we know he's not a good leader when it comes to backing up his teammates. And he's not a good sportsmanship guy. And his incident with Myles Garrett not too long ago. I won't get into that, but the footage speaks for itself. But let's talk about the real quarterback competition between Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. Now, Trubisky is finding himself at maybe one of his last chances to prove that he is a starting quarterback in this league. He had a lot of flashes with the Chicago Bears, did basically everything he could with Matt Nagy as his head coach and offensive play caller in Chicago. Got the Bears to the playoffs twice in his stint with the Chicago Bears. Lost against the Philadelphia Eagles in the wild card, and then lost in the 2020 season against the Saints in the wild card. So Trubisky, in my opinion, did everything he could with the Chicago Bears. Spent a year last year in Buffalo in a great situation, backing up Josh Allen, learning from Josh Allen, and I think he's going to bring some of the things that he learned from Josh Allen to the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's going to be the quarterback one or QB2 of this franchise. But in my opinion, I think it's all in for Kenny Pickett. I don't think you should wait. I think you should let the training wheels off of him quickly. Because Trubisky, if you start Trubisky, let's say if Kenny Pickett has a performance like this again in the next preseason game, are you going to mean to tell me that Mike Tomlin's going to come out and say that Mr. Trubisky is going to be the guy, the franchise QB for the Pittsburgh Steelers to start off week 1? What if the Pittsburgh Steelers start off slow? They're going to be in the second best division in the AFC North this year, playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cleveland Browns, trying to keep up with all 3 of those teams. Why not let Kenny Pickett go ahead and get his turn, get his share? Because this is the perfect time. You're moving off of Ben Roethlisberger, who's the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the last 20 years, won that franchise 2 Super Bowls. This is a good way to start off the new era by starting off Kenny Pickett. You live and you learn with your quarterbacks, and this is the right time, I think, to throw Kenny Pickett in the fire and see what he could do in his rookie season. And he could be the next franchise guy for this franchise because they drafted him early late in the first round. Ben Roethlisberger is going to be gone. You might as well see what you can do with Kenny Pickett for the next couple years. And if you get a lot of success, this is going to be your new franchise guy. And I think he's going to be a dark horse to win NFL Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year this NFL season. And he's going to be, and the reason why I think he's going to do that is he's going to have a pretty solid supporting cast. He's going to have Mike Tomlin, who is a top 5 head coach in this National Football League. Doesn't get a lot of credit, get a lot of acknowledgement towards his way about how great of an NFL coach he is. He wins no matter what the circumstances are. Great NFL head coach in this league. He's going to have him in his ear and his biggest supporter. He's going to have a top 10 defense that's going to be flying and swarming around the defensive side of the football. They're going to be absolutely tremendous on that side of the ball. Offensively, he has a great supporting cast as well. He has Najee Harris at the running back position. He has Deontay Johnson, who is not going anywhere for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the wide receiver position. They have Chase Claypool at the wide receiver position. And they have George Pickens, who they snagged in the second round at the wide receiver position. And might I throw this in real quick? The Pittsburgh Steelers, nobody drafts wide receivers better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those names I just named, I keep going on and on about the way how they drafted receivers over the last few years, over the last decade. They find a way to find their talent at the wide receiver position. Kudos to them for having a solid receiving trio there in Pittsburgh. But with that supporting cast, offensively, defensively, and Mike Tomlin as his head coach, if Kenny Pickett starts week 1, don't be surprised about this segment. Go back and watch this segment because Kenny Pickett has all the abilities of the great supporting cast to win NFL Rookie of the Year and be the best rookie coming out of his draft class this season.